Hey, what's up, everyone? Just wanted to take a few minutes to show you some knives that you might or may not like for everyday carry. But a little different here is we have some small knives. So what I'm going to do, just as an example, is I'm going to put the Spyderco Paramilitary 3 there, just so I can kind of compare everything for you, so you kind of have an idea. This is something that's pretty common, so you'll have an idea of just how big the other ones are, because sometimes just reading off a bunch of measurements isn't really that great. So this particular one is 7¼ inches. So let's take out some other smaller knives, and I actually have some that are some autos, some folders. I even have a fixed blade here, so a little bit of a variety. Now, obviously, I'm partial to some over others, but this isn't really a list where it's like, my top 5 or my top 10 or, the best one, because honestly, I don't know what the best one is. I don't really have that many small knives. I mean, I have like a handful, but nothing really huge. And I have done reviews or first impressions on most of these knives, so if you look through my older videos, you'll get an idea of what's there. Oh, sorry about that, just hit the camera stand. You'll get an idea of what's there, what's not there. So, without further ado, we have the SOG Snob. So, this one is a very, very small backlock, and this one goes about, let's see, just under 3 inches folded, as you can tell. Let's get a little measurement here with the caliper, and that is, let's see. My wife uses these calipers and she kind of messes them up. Don't tell her I said that. Okay. Alrighty, let's zero that out. Okay, so with the Senti here, we have it measuring in at 2.91 inches long, and we have a width of 0.85, and watch out for this, a thickness of 0.21 inches. That's kind of crazy. If your most important thing in life is the smallest possible knife you can find, this would be it. And the blade is 0.04 inches. I mean, this is tiny. We'll throw that guy right up here so you can kind of see the difference there. I mean, it's really a diminutive little knife. Almost as small, we have the Gerber STL. Now, the Gerber STL, oh, and by the way, that Senti, I think was only about $12 on Amazon. So pretty cheap, too. Most of these are pretty cheap. Let's see, let's try and get a good measurement here with these calipers. So we have almost 3, and I'm having a little trouble getting a measurement, but almost 3¼ inches there. Okay, we have the width here at 0.83. Thickness on this one, 0.24, which is kind of crazy. And by the way, that SOG Senti is a backlock knife. And with this one right here, we have a frame lock. And this is the Gerber STL. And as you can tell, this one isn't too big either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just shy of 6 inches open. So I would say maybe just shy of 6¾ inches. This one was also really, really inexpensive. This only cost about maybe $12 or $13. Now, the only thing that you might not like about it too much is when you first get it, it's pretty stiff. So what I kept doing was opening and closing this thing, and now it's to the point where with that slight tiny opening there, I can actually deploy it kind of like a la Spyderco. I mean, not really quite as easy. I don't think I'm going to be doing any flicks or anything, but, pretty easy with one hand. Like I said, after you break it in and you get used to it, you shouldn't have a problem there. So let's pop this one down here, just so you can kind of see. Well, that looks like a hunting knife compared to the other ones, huh? Okay, maybe not quite a hunting knife, but you get the idea. This one, this next one, oh my God, this is the Cinder. This one was about $7. Not something I'd really highly recommend. I mean, it's okay. It's definitely better than nothing, but not one of my favorites. Like I said, it was $7. So if you wanted to have a cheap knife just to kind of throw around, it's 2.65 inches. I mean, you could do worse, I guess. Sort of, kind of worse. 0.34 inches. Another thing is when this in the widest part is, oops, 0.91 inches. It deploys with a thumb stud. Very awkward to do with one hand because it's so small you can't really get a good purchase on it. And then it has a very thin liner lock, and then you can pop it in. Like I said, this is a very, very tiny knife. But, you know, wouldn't be bad for a keychain maybe. And it does have a bottle opener on if you tend to need to open a lot of bottles. And let's see, this one, if we measure this one out long ways, we got just over 4 inches. And like I said, that was only about $7. So if you want to put on your keychain as a backup, you could do worse. You can do better too. Here's a knife I really don't like. This is like a little tiny Gerber paraframe. I actually got this as part of a set of Gerber knives. It was like a larger paraframe and the smaller paraframe, and I got them for like maybe $7. So, I mean, if you wanted to figure it out, I probably paid about $3 for this, which is kind of all it's worth, to be honest with you. I really don't like it. It's not a bad-looking knife. It does lock. It's a frame lock. It's pretty stiff. Of course, part of that reason is because I really don't like it, and I haven't used it that much. It would probably break in much better. The lock is pretty stiff, so that's good. As far as the handle measurements go on this one is measuring just about 3.04 inches. And the thickest part here is 0.73, 0.28, and the blade is 0.08. So if you're looking for something, either a small secondary knife or a small primary knife, I mean, this might be an option. I wouldn't pay more than $5 or $6 for it, to be honest with you. But if you can get it for that, I guess you could do worse. Maybe, sort of, perhaps. Let's see, what else do we have here? Before we jump to the autos, I do have this one. Now, this is the SOG Snob. I love this knife. I have a video I did about 6 or 7 years ago on it. Might want to check it out. This is just fantastic. Now, it comes with the sheath. Don't be an idiot like me, though, and lose the clip on the back, because I was wearing it as a nick knife, and I misplaced the clip. I contacted SOG to see if they could get me another one, if I could purchase one, and they don't have them, so that sucks. But as you can tell, it is just a big lump of steel, and I kind of like that. Excuse the lack of, prettiness, but I kind of used it quite a bit, so, it was a knife, I used it. I really like this a lot. As you can tell, it has the jimping on the side here. Nice to kind of control your cuts. Nice for utility purposes, or possibly self-defense purposes, really. Let's not kid ourselves. Now, I will take some. This is a pretty thick blade compared to the others. 0.24 inches. That's a beefy one right there. And then right here, it narrows out to 0.12. The stock up here, 0.24. I mean, this thing, it's got some pretty good weight to it, but strangely, even though it has pretty good weight to it, I still feel like it's lighter than the paraframe. And I'm sorry, I don't have a functioning scale here so I can measure them, but it actually feels lighter, and this thing is built like a tank. And lengthwise, we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. I would say almost 4.5. Oh, I'm sorry, but no, about 4.25 inches long. And then, like I said, it does come with a sheath that you can get by neck carry or belt carry. I would probably go by the belt. It's kind of uncomfortable to wear on the neck. It's like you got a big chunk of steel hanging from your neck, which you do. So I would go by the belt carry on that, absolutely. And by the way, these, I think I paid like $28 or $29. Right now they're around 33 or 34, and you can pick them up at Amazon or, online knife places. They're still pretty easy to come by. One other fixed blade I did want to include is the SOG Instinct, which is pretty awesome. It's maybe a tad bit longer than this, but much narrower, lighter. You could probably get about 2.5 to 3 finger grip on it, and it also comes with an extremely nice sheath. I would put that on the screen, but I can't find it. And yes, that does aggravate me. Coming up next are the auto version. This one is a pretty new one to me. This is the Protec Run 5. This one's the priciest of the bunch. Really, the only one I would say is pricey, I believe. Well, maybe one other one's kind of pricey, but most of them are pretty cheap. These go for about $150 to $160. So we have the Protec 20CV blade with aluminum handles. Pretty light though. I would say it's kind of like moderate compared to the weights of the other one. So this is 0.83, 0.46, and the length of the handle is 3.16. So, I mean, compared to some of these, like these three guys up here, this is quite a beast, but it's really not that beastly on its own. Diminutive little guy, but, really works well if you don't mind. If you can have an auto where you are and you like autos and you don't mind spending $150, $160, it's a really nice option. If you're on a budget and you want the tiniest one you can get, I'd probably go with one of these two. That's awesome, by the way. I think I might have said that. Okay, next auto, and probably the second most expensive one right here, is the Boker OTF. This one you can get pretty much anywhere right now for $60. And this one has a D2 blade. Really tiny blade. I think it's like 1.8 inches, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Actually, a little, maybe just about 1.8, 1.9 inches just for the blade length. As far as the handle goes, we are looking at 2.9 inches. The width is 0.73 inches and 0.34 inches. So it's actually, pretty small compared to the other ones, and the action's pretty good. Now, the downfall to this is you're giving up a little bit in blade length and depth compared to some of these other knives here. So that kind of stinks. The good thing is that it's an OTF. It's pretty cool. I like that. But of course, if you have legal repercussions to carrying such a thing, that doesn't really mean too much to you because that could end up ruining your day. So we're not going to mention that one. This one I like quite a bit, and I didn't realize it till today, but this is kind of a heavy knife. This is the Boker Stubby Strike. For those of you who don't know, Boker makes a series of autos called the Strike series. So there's the Strike, which is about 3.25 inches, the Mini Strike, which is about 2.75 inches, and then there's the Stubby Strike, which is 1.9 inches. It's California legal. I don't know, I kind of have an affinity for these California legal switchblades, even though I live 3,000 miles from California, thank God. Nothing against Californians. I just don't like most of the politicians. The people, they're fine. I feel sorry for you living there. But anyway, aluminum handle. As you can tell, we got a little bit of the finish wearing off because this spends quite a lot of time in the fifth change pocket of my jeans and thrown in my pocket. So, it's got a little bit of wear in there, but that just means I love it. The clip is awesome. The clip is like fantastic. They can probably drop you out of a plane and your dead mangled body would be lifeless, but you know what? This would still be stuck to your pants. I'm not even joking. And you know what? I bet it would still work. So this is a really, really sturdy, tough knife. I think you'd probably get a lot of use out of it and enjoyment out of it. If you like a safety, it has a safety on there. The action is very quick, very Protec-like, and as you can tell, I have a dirty blade because I use this baby a lot. I love it. D2 steel, about a 1.9 inch blade. So what I'm going to do is, now I just want to bring up the fact that this is probably the heaviest knife over here. So if weight bugs you, you might not like this one. Now, it's not a heavy knife. It's just that it's the heavier of all those little teeny tiny knives. But don't forget the company we're keeping here. So that's 0.97 inches by 0.49 inches. And we have the overall length of, let's see here, 3.28 inches. So as far as the folded length, it's doing pretty well. Now, it's a little thicker than some of them. Width, especially this part right here where the finger guard is, for lack of a better term, that is 1.4 inches. So it's a little bit bigger in some dimensions, but it's pretty nice. It's something I've really enjoyed carrying. It was a gift from my wife last Christmas, and over the past year I've used it quite a bit. Really, really enjoyed it, and I think if you like a small auto, you will enjoy it also. Now, when she bought it, she paid, I want to say, either $55 or $60 for it at Blade HQ. They've had them on sale recently for, I think, like $39. I thought $59 was a good price. I would pay $59 for that knife all day long, all day, every day, no problem. But they're actually like $39 now. So if you can buy one, I would seriously recommend picking one up. And last but not least, we have a little bit of a classic here. We have the mini Kalashnikov. And as you could tell, I got a little bit of wear on here too, but not quite as much as the Stubby. I actually like the Stubby better. I don't know. I think it's because the Stubby is a little bit thicker and wider, so I kind of have a better grip on it. But this is a pretty cool knife. We have the green aluminum, the typical Kalashnikov scales with the the raised areas for your fingers, and again, the pocket clip. It's a little bendy. A little bendier than I like them. Not like that one. This one might come off from your body if you fall out of a plane. So action is very good. Nice looking blade there. And you get the copper coating. So pretty cool. So I'm going to take a few measurements from this. Like I said, the action is very good, but not quite as good as the Stubby strike. So let's take a measurement from the widest part of the finger groove, and we are, let's see, right at about 0.85. There's going to be some slight variations, but 0.85 is pretty close. And then the thinnest part, we're looking at 0.46. Overall length, we are looking at, we're looking at 3.25. And then for overall length, actually, you know what? Let's move this guy over here for a second. And we will put this guy right here, and we'll take a look. Yeah, you can see that, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just shy of 6 inches. So it's actually one of the longer ones. It's right up here with the Gerber STL for longest knife. But it is a robust knife, I have to say, and you can get these also for under $40. Now this one actually is a, I don't want to say it's an older one, but it's about 1.5 years old, 2 years old. So it has AUS-8 steel. Right now they're making them in D2, and they've actually discontinued the AUS-8. But even with the D2 steel, I mean, I think it's a big improvement, but it's still pretty reasonable to get. So pretty good buy there. So again, these are, let's see, I think I have 8 of them here. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8. No, I have 9 of them. So here are 9 knives that I just wanted to bring to your attention. Some of them I love, some of them I like. If I had to recommend one to you based on the smallest useful knife you can get, I gotta tell you, the Senti is really good. I mean, for like $12, it's fantastic. I mean, that is a great deal. And if you want a slicey little knife, it's a slicey little knife. The STL is also not bad. The Gerber OTF is a ton of fun. I like that one quite a bit. The Run is a really nice knife too. The only thing is, it's like $150 to $160. So as long as you're talking, I mean, like I said, it's fantastic, but you're paying for that. I mean, for the price of this, I mean, think about it. These are like, $12 a piece, 12, 24, 19, this is about 7, I guess, 26, 33, that's $59. This is 59. This is 60. That's 119. These are about 35. 154. You can get these 40 for, I mean, really, for 199, roughly. Or was it 195? For 195, you can either have all of these or just the runt for 150. You know, take one of these out, like, you know, take out this one, and you can have either the runt or all the rest of them. Well, you know, except this guy right here. We'll take him out for now. So, like I said, if you really like Protecs and you really want an auto, and you want something with a little bit of a cachet, then yeah, get the runt. Otherwise, not the best value. If I had to pick one, just based on price and performance, I'm going for that Stubby Strike. I would have gone for it at 60. At $39.99, you're going to have to hold me back to go run through the stores with the money in hand. This is a fantastic knife. This will probably be my #1 choice of all these for performance. And you can tell there's all this gunk and stuff on the blade. Damn, I have to clean that. But, I mean, it's just fantastic. I haven't really used the OSB. That's oriented strand board. I haven't used the USB that much, although it's like very cool, just a couple of light things. But this one, have I told you I love it? I think so. Well, anyway, if these knives catch your eye and you want to find out a little bit more about them, check out some of the videos that I have put up for them, because I believe I have put up a video for every single knife here except for this one. Now, you know what? I might have even done one for this. So check them out, and if you like the videos, please hit that like button, and if you are not subscribed, I really would appreciate the subscription. If you like knife content, I try to put out knife content fairly regularly, along with things related to tools, firearms content, ammunition, some stuff going on in the market. So with all that said, have a very good one, and I will see you later.